Yeah, so can you see my screen? Yeah. Hello?
Yes, yes, we can
Yeah,
see.
yeah. So just only
Yes,
so if since only three people are there, so just ask me your doubts and I'll try to. So Saurav has told me that he has covered Bill Manford and Floyd Marshall this week, and so yeah. So just ask me your doubts and then yeah, yeah.
sir, I think your voice is having some problem.
No, I'm not speaking anything.
Yeah, can I ask a mid-sem question?
Yeah.
Okay, can you please tell how to solve that K-merge sort problem?
No, so it is nothing but this two marks sort, right?
Not clear. Can you please?
So there is a problem like two marks sort, right? So like you have two arrays, right?
Yes.
So array A and array B, right? And then basically you have to sort them, right?
Yes.
So th- so you can do this, right? I mean
Yes,
this
this
will,
is.
so
This is
given
good.
the fact that both this array A and B are both sorted, right? Individually they are sorted. So we want to create an array C such that which is a combination of like every element of A and B is present in C, right? Sorted, right? So is this okay, right?
Yes.
So how do you do that? So for two mark sort, how do you do that?
Like we keep on splitting and we sort the arrays.
Will be splitting.
Means dividing the array into
No,
two
no.
parts.
These two arrays A and B are individually sorted, right?
Yes.
Now I am trying. So I am giving you two arrays as input with the promise that so both array A and B are already sorted in say increasing order, right? So smallest first, say, right?
Okay.
Now I want so I want you. I'm asking you to design an algorithm that outputs the combination of A and B, right?
Means I have to generate C.
C such that
Okay.
C contains all the elements of A and B and C is sorted. So basically I want to
Okay. Okay. Okay.
so I want an algorithm to output the union of these two sorted lists, right? I mean not you I mean multi-set union, right? Because same
Okay.
element may be present in both the arrays. In that case the same element will appear twice in C, right? So suppose this element like say 2 belongs to A as well as 2 belongs to B. Now in C there will be two twos, right? Because I mean I'm just trying to do the union, right? I mean multi-set union. What I mean is like yeah. So how do you do this? I mean
Like we take one element from each element, compare them, and keep on adding them to C.
yeah. So basically the idea is nothing but this subroutine merge, right? Even for
Yes.
merge, even for merge, we basically have two lists of n by 2, right? Such that both of them are individually sorted and then we basically what I shall I say, basically union them, right? For this merge, so basically we put I equal to 0 and j equal to 0. So basically I is the index of A, right? And j is the index of B. Now we see, is AI less than equal to Bi, right? If this is the case, I will put ck is ai, right? Right. This is
Okay.
more or less this idea of this uh, merge function of merge sort, right? Then basically I'll keep doing the other thing, right? If it is not the, if the, so there is other case, right, when this is greater than equal to, then I'll take element from b, and then I'll increment the index of array A, right? So basically, right?
Yes.
So is this okay? I mean, or like I'll go over it.
Yes, for 2 it is okay, but how can we do for generalized case? So,
So why not? I mean, what is so where is the difficulty? Let's for k merge sort, right? Let's try to design a function k merge that takes as input like k lists, right? To say a1, a2, ak, right? And outputs a new array c such that both the c is like sorted and c contains all the elements of ai to a1 to ak, right? So
okay.
so what will be a like a possible approach of solving this?
Like we can use a heap, and we can always maintain the mean search for the smallest element, and then uh, we can input it into a new array.
Yeah, so yeah, you have solved it. So what is your doubt? I mean, I'm sorry.
No, my main doubt is that there was written that design, I think, a k merge sort.
Yeah.
So means like it happens in merge sort na, that the element gets divided into two again and again, and then we keep on sending it, and we get back the merge, means we get back the sorted array.
No,
So
no.
I thought that we have to
Wait a
do
minute.
something like
Wait
that.
a minute. Wait a minute. Let's just go over it once, like slowly, right? So March sort is a divide and conquer algorithm, right?
Yes.
So basically, we divide, and then in divide phase, we basically divide the input into different parts, and then we work on them and create a smaller output on that small set, right? Then in conquer step, we basically merge them, right?
Yes.
So so I mean given an array, for recursion it will eventually go down to only elements of size, only sets of size 1, right? Only multi sets of size 1, right?
Yes.
But once we do this conquer, I mean merge thing, it will just go up and up, right? So from 1, we'll create a list of 2, right? From 2, we'll create a list of 4, right? So let's just see an example. So I mean, I'll try to do best. So let's try to sort this array. 3, 2, 5, 4. Okay. So can you tell me how would you go over this on March sort?
Yes, we will have two sets. In one, first we will divide 3 2 on one side and 5 4 on the other side.
All right. So let's divide
Then,
it and let's call this L. Okay. And
okay.
let's call this R. Right. Right. Then how do you do that?
Now for 3 2 again divided into 2, and then we will merge them.
Right. So again divide this into 2, right? So
Hmm.
let's call this LL and LR, right? And again for this, let's call this LL and LR. No,
No,
sorry.
RL and R.
Yeah, right. Yeah. RL and RR, right? Now
Okay.
so since the size of this list is so small, I have already come to single element thing, right?
Yes.
Now what will happen is our merge thing, right? So these two things are perfectly valid array, right? Or list, whatever you call it. It is just a list with single element, right? This list
Yes.
and this list, right? Huh?
Okay. Got it.
So then I will merge it. So after merging, it will be 2, 3, right? Right?
Yes.
This is this divide phase, and I'm doing this merge phase, right? Again, similarly, for 5 and 4, what will be the thing? It will be 4 and 5,
4 and 5.
and eventually I'll do another merge again here. So maybe my numbers were taken such that we do not have to do any swapping, but otherwise we have to do swap, right? I mean,
But
suppose,
that is not a problem. But main thing is that how to go about the means dividing the element, the complete array into k parts and then trying to solve it recursively. So I was confused in that.
no, so the question was for like merge sort, k merge sort, right? So you are given k elements and then you have to do that, right?
Okay.
I don't,
The
I don't
merge,
exactly recall the problem. But can you just read out the problem for me? Yeah.
like recall that when sorting the entries in an array A, the merge sort algorithm divides the array into two parts, sorts them individually, and then merges the two sorted arrays. What if we consider the algorithm K merge sort, where the array A split up into K equal parts, and then each part is sorted individually, and finally the K sorted arrays are merged?
Right.
Write a pseudocode of this algorithm and analyze its runtime for what value of k is the runtime optimal.
Yeah, so basically, see, the question comes with the promise that you have a procedure that does divide into k parts, right? So what will be the case, right? So see, say a from 1 to k, right? N, right? So I can certainly, so given a k, I can certainly divide n by k many small lists, right? Right? So what will
Okay.
be the case? So like, let's call them B. So B1 would be like 1 to n by k, right? Let's take ceiling or floor. I mean, just assume that n is a multiple of k and all.
Got it, got it.
Then B2 would be like n by k plus 1 to like 2n by k, right? You understand my point? Similarly, you have
Yes.
this all list, right?
Okay.
Right? And see, we are just dividing the big array A into k parts, right? N by k parts, right? And you are not
Okay.
actually performing any operation inside, right? We just,
Yes, that is my point.
yeah, you just divide the array into first n by k indices, then second n by k indices and all, right? I mean, you can directly do this without any problem, right?
Yes.
Right, just write a loop and like put like first n by k elements of a into this b, right? Right.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Similarly, you can do all these things, right? Now, given this n by k many small lists or array, whatever you call it, you will basically individually sort them, right?
Yes.
Then you will do the merge, right?
Yes.
And for this merge, you have to do this like this the thing that you have said, like me,
Like for
any,
individually sorting the each BIs,
yeah.
so means how will we recursively do it?
So
Like,
let's just so basically for exam purpose, you do not have to write the whole code. So given this array, you can just write it as merge sort of b1, right? So what we will do? Merge sort of b2, right? And all this way up to merge sort of bn by k. So I'm assuming n is a multiple of k. So yeah, right?
okay.
Now, the question that you are doing, that you are asking, if I understand it correctly, says like how will this merge sort of b1 works, right?
Yes. Yes.
So merge sort of b1 is nothing but a list of k elements, right? So size of v1 is k, right? Right?
Hmm.
And we do it for n, right? So we know, we understand the algorithm of merge sort on l elements, right? That you divide these two parts and then merge, right? This thing, right? This is a merge sort on 4 element, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Similarly, we can also do merge sort on k elements, right? During this procedure, the divide part will just keep it dividing, so this will be k by 2 and this will be k by 2, right? And again this k by 2 will be divided by k by 4 and k by 4, right? Again this will divided by k by 8 and k by 8, right?
Not exactly, but
Why not?
means okay. Size of V is K. K by 2. No, but it will not be K by 2, I think, because it is K merge sort.
Yeah, but we have already divided the whole input into n by k many arrays, right? And individually, if given this each k elements array, I'm currently sorting, right? So
Hmm.
let's just go back and say, right? In the originally we had an array of n elements, right? This is this array of n elements, right?
Hmm.
Now
Yes.
based on these indices, we created n by k many different arrays, right? We want to be of n by k, right? Now each of them I'll be sorting using merge sort, and then using merge procedure using min heap, we'll just create a union of them, right?
Okay. Hmm.
Right? Now during this
So,
procedure, a list of n by k elements will work exactly similar way we have done this in for 4 elements, right? Right? This case, right?
so we will use the ordinary merge sort to sort the VIs, and then we will finally merge them using the new function that we designed.
Yeah, yeah, you can do any kind of sorting over there. Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. Now it is clear. I fail to understand what to do. Hmm.
Okay, okay, okay. Is it clear now?
Yes. Okay,
Hello.
and what will be the optimal value of K then? How can we calculate? How can we show that?
So basically, so if you do this by n by k, right? So let me so for ordinary so for normal merge sort, what is the recurrence relation for time complexity?
2T n by 2 plus n
Order
order of
n.
n.
So it
Order of
becomes
n.
cn,
Hmm.
right? So what will
Okay.
be the so let's call this t1, right? No, let's just write it t. And for this case, dividing it into k, right?
Hmm. Yes.
So what will suppose let us represent that as t of tk of n, right? What will be the like this, what shall I say, recurrence relation for this case?
I think KTn by k.
Yeah. So basically you are
Hmm.
working on this n by k length. So we are running matsort on n by k size list, right? And
Okay.
we are doing it for k. And basically the sorting will be like order n because we are just going through all of the elements one by one. So
So
basically,
will that be Cn, or like the complexity will be that means according to the algorithm we design?
I don't
Means
understand.
like if we use heap, I think it will be something like k log n log k or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm just ignoring that part, but it will be something like no. So sorting. So at every step you have to sort the heap. So basically you have to at every step you have to find the minimum element of heap, and that would take say log k,
Log
right?
k.
So
So n log
basically,
k.
so it will be like yeah, so let me just write it in the later part. But we are assuming the k is constant. But if, yeah, so for correctness, yeah, it should be like n log k, right? So it is like tk of n is k tk of n by k plus cn log k, right? Now we have to find for which. So suppose this is some theta of something, right? Right? You can,
The-
right? This you can check using Master's theorem, right?
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Sir, but this recurrence relation is possible when we again divide the list into k parts. I mean, if we divide again B1 into k parts, then this will be applicable because we are recursively dividing. Then it will be, this recurrence relation will be valid. But we are dividing it into two, B1 into two parts.
Okay.
Hmm.
No, but we are assuming like k is constant, right? So in order terms, it won't matter.
No, sir, that is fine. K is constant, but this recurrence relation should be something different, I think.
Hmm. Yes, sir.
I mean, it will be the same, but the differences that we are dividing it into k equal parts.
Yes, sir. It will be that first we are dividing it into my k parts, and then you are performing merge sort individually on each of the BIs. So I think,
It will be k into t of n by k plus this thing, right? So it will be something like k into t of n by k plus some c of n. So let me just. So we're dividing into k parts, right? And then we are running it on k elements, right? Yeah. So nobody has pointed out. Basically, we are doing it only for lists of size k, right?
hmm.
So we have n by k lists, right?
Yes.
Of size k, right?
So k lists of size n by k, I think. K equal parts.
K equal parts.
K
K equal
k
parts or
lists
is size.
of size n by k.
I just so can you just verify from the question? I just yeah. I think it will be,
Hello.
yeah.
Sir, it is in question. It is given that into k equal parts, the list is divided into k equal parts.
Okay. Okay.
So its size is n.
Let's just swap it then. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I just got mixed. Okay. N by k, right? So basically, what will be the case? Say, let us define it t k of n. So basically, we'll do k, but for each of them, I'll just use our old Mart sort thing, right? Right?
But merge sort is k n by 2, right?
What?
T n by 2.
No, no, no,
All
no.
the k's.
So tk n represents
Okay, got it. Hmm.
time by this k Mart sort, right? And t
On n
represents time
elements.
by normal Mart sort, right?
Okay. Hmm. Hmm.
So in that case, I am doing this for k. I'm dividing into k parts, and then I'm running normal merge sort on n by k list, n by k size list, right?
Okay. Hmm.
And basically, this takes c of say n log k kind of thing, right? So basically, it will be like So it will be something like k into say order of, so this is, so basically Martzot, so Tn of Martzen is like
Like
theta
n by
of
k log n by k.
theta of n log n. So T of n by k would be like theta of like n by k log n by k, right?
Hmm.
So let's do, so I'm calling this as C1. Let's call this constant as C2 n by k log n by k, right? So basically what will be the case for this? So we have this k remaining, so k into C2 into n by k into log of n by k, right? Plus C of n log k, right? So it will be like C2 n log n by k plus like C of n log k, right?
Okay. Yes.
So basically you have to minimize this function, right? And I think it will be minimized for k equal to square root n, right? Or am I missing something? So you just have to minimize this function, right? So you have to do this normal procedure like differentiating and all, right? Hello?
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So one thing to note, for k equal to constant, right? Right? So if k is constant, even tk of n is like n log n, right? Understand my point? For k is constant, it will still be this constant, so this will just be a order n term, but here it will be order n log n, right? The first term.
Yes.
So for k equals to constant, it remains n log n. So I'm just not doing this calculation. Just try to minimize it, right? Minimize this function over k, right?
Okay.
Minimize over k, right? It will be done, right? Yeah, yeah. Thanks for pointing out. So yeah, so there are two places. One place I got mixed up of what is the size of list and what is the number of list, and also yeah, someone has pointed out that this is the wrong thing. This should not be the case because yeah, so Tn is not the right thing, so this is not the correct thing. Yeah, thanks for pointing out. Yeah. Mm. That's great. I mean, yeah, thanks. Yeah. So basically, you just have to minimize over this, right? So I hope this clarifies your doubt, right?
Yes. Yes.
So does anybody have any other doubt, or yeah? So Saurabh has covered this Bellman-Ford and this Floyd-Warshall. So if you have any doubt, just yeah ask, or otherwise I'll end today's tutorial.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, about that Floyd and Warshall algorithm, uh, that we have to, from there, the algorithm said that DLV is the length of the shortest path with less or equals to 2 to the power L edges from source to the n vertex.
So what source
If in
are
a,
you referring?
from any given from any given graph, from suppose the source vertex is S and the destination vertex is V, then DLV is the if I use the notation DLV, which denotes the shortest path, that should be chosen less or equals to 2 to the power L, where L is the number of edges. Hello.
I have not understood. So
Hello.
Floyd-Warshall is a all-pair shortest path, right?
Floyd Warshall.
Is a all-pair shortest path algorithm, right?
Yes, all pair shortest path algorithm.
So you are saying source. So
So basically, my question was,
yeah.
my question was, like the examples are given. There were 11 edges, but when he calculated, uh, it was like in three uh, subsequent division of the whole thing has given us the result. Like we needed only 3 steps to solve the entire problem. That
Okay.
particular thing I could not understand.
It might be because of that particular instance.
uh,
Have you tried to work it out for some other example? So there is a nice example on this,
y-
even a worked out example on this Dasgupta's book. So do you have this Dasgupta's book?
I did not understand, sir.
So have you tried to work out on some other example?
Yes, sir.
So
I could not understand that less or equals to 2 to the power L. That particular thing I did not understand.
no, no. So no. So I'm
For example, if the edges, total number of edges in the graph is 11, then the shortest path should be less or equals to 2 to the power L. So that means if it is 11, then it should be 4, right?
so,
So it should call D4.
what
D4
source?
function.
So so from what source are you like stating this 2 to the power L thing? I mean, what is the source? I mean, I just want to understand the notation. I
Any
mean,
give, you can take any source, but the number of edges
no,
still
no,
is
no, not
11.
source. I mean, by source, I mean, what is the book or notes? So you are stating this 2 to the power L thing, right?
Yes, 2 to the power L.
So where have you read this thing? I'm just trying to understand the notation.
Sir, in the algorithm, it is given that the
Where
shortest.
is it given? In which book?
Sir has given that algorithm.
So Saurav has given the algorithm.
Yes.
Okay. No, so
The first line of the algorithm was that the shortest path with in the Bellman-Ford, it was the DLV is the shortest path with lesser equals to L edges from S to V, and in Floyd-Warshall it was not lesser equals to L, it was lesser equals to 2 to the power L. Hello.
no, no. Sorry. So can you just tell me the algorithm that Saurav has pointed out? I
It
don't
is in
have.
the slides.
Yeah,
It
I
is in
don't
the
have that. This is on
okay.
slide.
Yeah, there is a slide, so I will just send.
Let me just stop this. Yeah. Hello.
Ca- uh,
Let me just
there's
try
one.
to see.
One second, sir.
So just I have just stop the share. So let me just take in the link. Hi, so can you see my screen? I mean, is it showing uh, this slide? Hello?
No, no.
Okay. So, is it showing now?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
All
Yeah.
pair shortest. Yes, this one.
No, no, this is not a complete thing, right?
Huh?
This is the all pair shortest path, right?
All pair shortest path.
Right?
Is-
But this is a directed graph, right?
Yes.
So he must have said something for these entries that are not filled, right? I think
Sir, I can't hear you, sir, properly.
is it the problem with everybody or you just cannot?
Like the voice is sometimes slowing down.
Okay. So
So here we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
yeah,
11 edges are there.
yeah.
So that algorithm, the previous page, that
Which
part I
previous?
did not understand. The previous page of the slide says the algorithm that the shortest path should be,
Previous of that.
yes, not this. The 2 to the power L part I did not understand. Sir said that if there are 120 like if there are 256 edges in a graph, then that graph can be divided into two parts, like 128 edges and then 128 edges, like two set of 128 edges. We can apply the that the same algorithm that uh, which satisfied the minimum shortest path condition. So again, from that 128 edges, we can divide this into two parts, 64 edges and 64 edges. But here, when we are considering less or equals to 2 to the power L, that that thing is not getting explained properly.
No, no. Has he covered this thing? The
Yes,
VQ thing.
sir, your voice is so slow, so low.
Hello?
Yes,
So has he covered this thing?
yes,
VQ thing.
yes.
Yeah. So is your doubt here? Hello?
No, sir, that 2 to the power L part, that was my doubt. All part, all pair shortest path in that algorithm.
Wait a minute. This is a VQ algorithm, right? This is in this, I mean, this last section of and all, right? Hello?
Sir, that 2 to the power L part, that part I did not understand.
No, no, I'm not saying that. This is the final Floyd-Warshall algorithm, right?
Oh, yes.
Right? Is your doubt concerning this part?
No, actually, I misunderstood this. I thought that all pair shortest path problem was the Floyd-Warshall. I was talking about that actually.
No, no, this is the final Floyd-Warshall algorithm. See, let's just go to the last, I mean, last but one page, right? Right? There are four cases, right? If you do this repeated squaring thing and all, right? It takes v cube log v, right? But using dynamic programming, we can do Floyd-Warshall. I mean, Floyd-Warshall algorithm works over dynamic programming, right? And that takes order of V cube time complexity, right? It's time complexity order of V cube, right? And there are other couple of ways, such that repeated squaring, like doing like repeated Bellman-Ford and all. That takes V to the power 4. I mean, for when is order of V square. But yeah, so your doubt is not here, if I understand it correctly, right?
So my doubt is that that particular 2 to the power L, I show I just told you that that slide, in that slide I had problem.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but he must have said something.
So he said that if there are 256 edges in the graph,
Yeah,
then first we divide that into two part, 128 edges and 128 edges,
yes,
and then again we apply the same thing, same algorithm to that 120, like it will be just a divide and conquer method. 128 first 128 uh, edges will have the same procedure, and that will be divided into 64 and 64, and similarly everything will be done in this way. So but I did not understand then why that 2 to the power L was mentioned, because if we are
yeah. So the idea, if I understand it correctly, it works by like repeated squaring, right? We have this like
that's the previous slide. Yes, this one.
yeah, yeah. This is just a worked out example, right? I'm talking about the algorithm. Like this is a worked out example, right? Yeah, I'm not really getting, yeah, like the, so see, this works to up to log V, right? So log here is how many vertices are here, 5 or 6 or 7. So log of V, log of V 7, it will be like 3, right?
No, the question is how we are getting that time. First
No, no. So this is the algorithm,
we found out the logarithmic time because we have used the 2 to the power L method, right?
right? Because we
So
are doing repeated squaring, right?
yes, so now this 2 to the power L thing, how we are implementing that theorem here? Because if the length is 256, then definitely it should be like the algorithm should call, this is written as D0, so that should call 2 to the power 8 in that case, because 256 is
No, no. I
equals to
think
2 to
no,
the power
no,
8.
no, no. I think there is some. Yeah, maybe I'm not. I think we are missing something. So I'll just cover. I'll just post it in the classroom, or like I'll cover it in the next tutorial.
Okay.
So I think there is some silly thing that is going on. I mean, maybe we are not seeing the uh, correct representation. Look. So what I mean is like it, it means something, and we are understanding it something else, right?
Okay.
See, the idea of repeated squaring is nothing like this. Uh, can you see my
Yes,
uh,
slides.
no, no, external? Can you see my like tab thing? No, right?
I can see the slide.
No, no, no. There is a issue of here. Oh, that works for me, not here. So the idea of repeated square. So I'll cover. So I'll clear your doubt in the next class, because I'm not understanding the doubt actually completely. But I'll have a look at it, and hopefully, yeah, yeah. So the idea of repeated squaring is very beautiful actually. Suppose there is a matrix A, right? Right?
Hmm.
And suppose you want to compute a to the power 64, right? Right?
Hmm.
So one possible way to write a matrix multiplication algorithm. So suppose we have a algorithm. So we have an algorithm. So suppose we have an algorithm, right? And suppose we have a subroutine that multiplies a matrix, right? So a possible way of doing this 64 thing is like for I equal to 1 to 64, just multiply matrix like like uh, when you understand, right? AI plus 1 is like multiply AI into AI, right?
Hmm.
This is a perfectly valid way of doing, but right? But this loop will go 64 times, right? Right, a square, a cube, a to the power 4. So basically the way the algorithm would work is like from a we'll get a square, then a cube, then a to the power 4, this way, right? Up till now we'll get a to the power 64, right? But another possible way is from a I get a square, right? From a square I get a to the power 4, right? So basically we are repeatedly squaring whatever the output instead of multiplying it with itself, right?
Hmm.
So basically from a to the power 4 we'll get a to the power 8, then a to the power 16, then a to the power 32, then a to the power 64, right? This is the idea of repeated squaring, right? This is roughly the idea of repeated squaring. And yeah, so
So how does it ensure that it will give us that shortest path?
no, this is, I don't understand.
How does it ensure that this method will give us the shortest path between any two pairs of
No, no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I have a, so I'm just trying to explain the method of repeated squaring. I'm not saying this works and all. Although it works, but yeah, there is a different argument for that. I'm just saying what repeated squaring is.
okay,
So
so
using much number of small, so like logarithmic number of steps we can achieve in a to the power 64, right? I'm not saying this is the that algorithm, so I'm just explaining the method of repeated squaring. Yeah, I'll look over it and I'll just yeah. I think we are missing something silly, like it is representing something and we are like
no, in the Bellman-Ford algorithm, we had some limitation, and to cover that up, we introduced that repeated square method. So how this repeated square
no, no,
method
no,
is
no,
helping
no, no, no.
so
What is
that
the,
part?
using Bellman-Ford for finding all pair shortest path would take a much larger time, order of v to the power 4, when
Yes.
number of edges is order of v square. In order to reduce that thing, we do repeated squaring. There you have some doubt. Now, this repeated squaring from v to the power 4, it reduces the time complexity to v cube log v, because we are doing for this v thing, so we are doing log of v thing, right, by repeated squaring. So that reduces the time complexity to v cube log v. Now using dynamic programming, Floyd Warshall designed an algorithm that gives order of v cube, right? Yeah, yeah. So does anybody have any other doubt? So otherwise we'll yeah end. Hello, does anybody have any other doubt? Hello, hello.
No, sir.
So does anybody else have any other doubt, or otherwise I'll end today's session? And for your doubt, I'll cover it in the next tutorial. So I hope you will be present and I'll clear your doubt, right?
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So if nobody have any other doubt, so we'll end today's session. Otherwise, yeah. Otherwise, if you have doubt, we'll continue. Okay, so nobody's saying anything. So yeah. So we'll so let us just end today's session and like yeah.